Hey, whippersnappers, this is Tortoise the Great. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pixelmon on the DeciMon server. Today we're hanging out at Tortimer's EV Training and Team Building Consultancy Company, or Tortimer School of Hard Knocks, as some people often refer to it. And we have our first customer, which is very exciting. Mr. JSeed is hanging out over here. He's hanging out down at the end of the dock here. And I think we are going to jump into a call, and I'm going to teach him the ways of the Pokemans. So we'll do that, and we'll bring you guys back once we are ready to lay down some knowledge. All right, guys, see you back in a second.
Hello, Wise Turtle.
Hello there, Mr. Seed. How is it going today?
It's going.
Fantastic. I hear you are in need of some knowledge.
Yes.
And
teach me the ways.
I am the wise sage turtle that will teach you all of the ways of the Pokemans. So for a nominal fee, of course. Sound
like Mr. Dink. Very expensive.
I don't want your Turtwig. I want gold.
Oh, I was under the impression this was an adoption service. You were going to adopt my Sprout and make him powerful.
Oh, well, if that is... No, well, if you want the EV training... that is an option I provide. If you're interested in my EV training services, I was under the impression you wanted the team building consultancy services, but I do also EV train if you would like me to do that for you.
Yeah.
There we go. Let me just count this here. Well, you're overpaying, unless I am EV training somebody. But I'll give you back one. It's just 2 blocks for consultancy services.
I didn't see the rates from the back.
I'm not looking to cheat you here, so we'll...
Team helped with gold block, stat trained. Oh, I see. Okay.
But yes, so, you have some questions. Let's hear them.
Well, first off, in general, I'm pretty sure that the TMs I have, you click it and it gives a move to somebody. Correct?
Accurate, yes.
So is there like... I could get out this little baby Tortoise, for example, and right-click him with what's in my hand, Swagger, and make him learn a move he normally doesn't have.
So TMs, technically yes, that is what it does. So Pokemon can learn certain moves by level up. So just by grinding him up, he'll learn certain moves, as you know. Mm-hmm. Then they also have the capacity to learn certain other moves through the use of TMs and HMs, and so you can use those, just like you said, you click on them and they'll learn it. But not all Pokemon can necessarily learn all TM moves. Oh, so like Turtwig may not be capable of learning Swagger, whereas he has a whole plethora of other moves that he can learn via TM. So you might have to do a little bit of research and or just trial and error, just being like, oh, well, can Turtwig learn this? And just click it on him. And if it doesn't work, then he just can't learn it.
Okay, and they're colored by what type they are, right? So like this brown one is Sandstorm because it's a ground move?
Yeah, so more or less they're color coordinated. Like I've got 2 here that I just happen to have on me. They're Explosion and Sword Dance, which are both normal type moves, so they're just gray. Let me see, do I have any... I don't have any others in my ender chest, but yeah, so I mean they're more or less color coordinated. And sometimes they're not as easy to decipher, but it should be relatively self-explanatory.
Okay.
Hello, Sprout.
Then what is an HM?
So an HM, in the actual Pokemon games, the HMs are essentially TMs, but they have slightly different mechanic. So like an HM...
I have cut and strength on me, for example.
Yeah, so in the actual Pokemon games, those would be used to help you get around the world. So like there would be things that you would need to cut down, and so you would use cut outside of battle to cut down trees or something to get into a secret area, and you would use strength to move boulders around and stuff like that. In Pixelmon, I was actually reading up on it because you mentioned you wanted to ask me about HMs, and I was like, I honestly don't know how they work in this mod. In Pixelmon, they are no different than a TM. There's no out-of-battle use. In the actual game, HM move, whereas in Pixelmon, you throw out your Pokemon and you try to use a TM on it. The TM then disappears once you've used it. It works the same in the games, or at least it used to. HMs, however, you could use over and over and over and over again. They would never disappear. But so TMs were one-time use, HMs were multi-use, but HM moves could also not be forgotten. So like if you taught Cut to Turtwig in the game, then if Turtwig wanted to learn like Razor Leaf or something, you couldn't forget Cut to teach it Razor Leaf. You would have to forget something else. You could only forget HM moves.
It makes it a permanent move.
Well, it's not permanent, but there's like a guy in the game who's called the Move Deleter, and he can remove those for you, but they can't forget them naturally. But
Gotcha.
in the mod, that's not the case. They're just like any other TM, so Cut's pretty useless. Strength is a pretty decently strong move. If you've got a normal type and you just need some stab, high power physical move, Strength's pretty good. But in the mod, it will disappear after one use, just like TMs do. So,
Gotcha.
So yeah. That's how TMs and HMs work, and if it doesn't seem to be working, that must just mean that Pokemon can't learn that particular move.
Gotcha. Sorry, I'm not looking at you. I'm staring at little Turtwig.
Yeah, he's just so cute. I'm actually looking at him too. He's just so adorable.
I love that Optifine lets me zoom in on him.
Oh yeah,
looking around.
Never
used
used
a little nub for a
Optifine.
tail.
I should show him my... Well, I think this is my runt. She should fit in here. Yeah.
Oh jeez. This is what you have the potential to be, little Turtwig.
Yeah, it's your mommy. Actually, I think this is a male.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, this one's a male. My other Torterra is a female.
Which is which, gender symbol wise?
So the circle with like the cross underneath it is female, and then the
Okay.
circle with the arrow going up is
Arrow's
male.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
So, Turtwig is a boy. Pause is a boy. Sparty is a machine, so it doesn't have a gender.
It has no soul.
Right.
I saw
Execute.
what,
Order 66.
either K's or Max has a shiny Golurk on the other server,
Case does.
which is so pretty. I want
Yeah,
one.
they're cool looking. Oh jeez, yours is gigantic.
Yeah, I think he is
Mine looks
enormous.
small. Yeah, mine's just a dinky guy.
Yep.
They're both 70s though.
Oh yeah, my guys have been capped for a long time.
Show off.
Well, like seriously, it didn't take me very long to get these guys done, but like now as I'm trying to grind things up, it takes forever, and I don't know what changed. I don't know if it's just my perspective, but like,
Maybe.
grinding up my offensive team to get up to like take on ping and stuff was painful.
Gotcha.
Painful. But anyway,
So the other question I had was with
yes sir.
What's the word? EV training.
Yes.
Like, is that what power anklets or power bands or power weights, all these items are for?
Yes. So all your power items, and then there is
Or, like,
also the
Macho
Macho
Brace.
Brace. And those are all EV training items.
Okay.
So like the power weight.
Yep, I've got one of those. Right there.
I think the power. Yeah. So the power weight is if you want. Oh, I've got them here. You're good.
Oh,
I've got them. I've got one of each in my. Well, I just store mine in my Ender chest. So when I'm EV training, I can just grab them real quick.
that's a good idea.
Power weight is for EV training HP. Power bracers for EV training attack. Power belt is for EV training defense. Power lens is special attack. Power band is special defense. Power anklet is speed. And then Macho Brace? Hold on.
I've got 3 of those on me right here if you want.
Yeah, well, I've got 4. I actually I don't remember what it does. One second. Doubles any effort values the Pokemon holding it gets, but halves its speed in battle. Oh, okay. So your speed won't be good when you're in battle, but you'll get double any effort values. So you don't have to have like a specific power anklet or whatever. Because like, so when you're EV training, so the Macho Brace doubles any EVs you get, but like, if I put the power weight on one of my Pokemon, the power weight will give that Pokemon 4 HP EVs every time it gets EVs. So even if I'm fighting somebody who who gives attack EVs, I'll still get 4 HP EVs from that battle.
Gotcha. Okay, so then how do you get the EVs? That is from defeating certain types of Pokemon? Is that it?
Each Pokemon has different EVs that it gives. EV stands for effort values, and so you get those through battling. So like, usually, if you're, some of the common ones are like Magikarps give speed EVs. So every Magikarp you kill will give you 1 speed EV. If you throw the Power Anklet on your Pokemon, which gives you 4 speed EVs, every time you get an EV, then every time you kill a Magikarp, you get 5 speed EVs. And so, you pretty much will just have to look up which Pokemon give what. I could tell you some of them just because I've done a lot of it at this point.
Right.
Like, I know that, Ekanses and Arboks give you attack EVs, and most birds give you speed EVs, as do Magikarps, and Slowpokes give you something, and Tentacles give you special defense EVs, and so it's just you just have to kind of look them up and just kind of know what you're looking for.
And the EVs are what are listed on the stats screen, right? Like I pull up my stats and I see my Golurk has 227 HP, 199 attack.
Yeah, so I think what it actually is, I think every and this could end up being wrong, but it's not like a 1-for-1 relationship for sure. I think it might be like for every 10 EVs you get 1 stat point or something.
Okay.
Maybe. That could be wrong, but it's definitely not a 1-for-1. It's more of a 10-to-1 relationship. So like as you
But that is the direct relationship. It's like the attack from one of the brace.
Yeah,
one of the power items.
So yeah, if you EV train attack,
stat.
You fully EV train an attack, then that attack stat there on the stats page will go up. There is, so like you only have a total of like like 510. Okay, yeah, it's 510. You have a total of, each Pokemon has a total of 510 EV slots. So you need to like spread that out among the different stats you want to train. So like for my Gyarados, I trained Clifford in speed and attack. So I had to split, I did 200 and every stat, you only have 510 total, and every stat has a maximum of 255, I think. It's either 255 or 252. So like I just put all of the stats into speed and attack, and then I think I had a couple extra that maybe I threw into HP or special defense or something. But yeah, so you only have a certain amount of EVs. So normally if you're going to EV train a Pokemon, you want to start with like a brand new one, like your little Turtwig or whatever, somebody who's never been in battle, because every battle they're in, they're going to gain EVs, and so you want to start fresh. You want to breed something new, or any Pokemon you catch in the wild will have 0 EVs. So you'll just want to do that, and then start from scratch, and just kind of be careful with who you attack them with. If you want to train speed and attack, only kill Magikarps and Ekanses or something, and that's what you'll get.
And then that, in combination with each Pokemon's nature, is what you're using to make sure you can get all the way to 255 or...
Well, okay, so you can always get to 255. That's open to you no matter what the nature. But, so like, you've heard me talk about natures a lot, because I try to get good-natured Pokemon. So like, my Gyarados here, since we're using him as an example, is it's a lonely nature, which isn't ideal, but it's good enough for what I'm doing, because if I look at his stat page, so it's got, one of his stats is green and one of them is red. So that means...
Because the one is boosted and the other is lowered by its nature. Right?
Yes. Yeah, so the nature effects, if you can either have a neutral nature, which does nothing, or you can have a nature that will affect it, and one stat will be raised and one will be lowered. So mine has a raised attack and a lowered defense, which isn't... I don't think that's the best. Normally you would want on a Gyarados an adamant nature. This one's lonely. Adamant nature raises attack while lowering special attack, because you're definitely not going to use special attack. I mean, you're going to be taking hits, so you don't necessarily want to be taking down your defense, but I know I won't be using special attacks, so that would have been more ideal. But yeah, so every nature has different ones, like My Torterra is adamant natured, so it raises attack, lowers special attack. My Umbreon is careful, so it raises special defense and lowers special attack. And so that just helps, gives you an extra boost. You can do full EV training and do your full 255 and everything without a beneficial nature, but the beneficial nature will just give you an extra boost on top of the EV training you've done to help make your Pokemon that much stronger.
Gotcha.
So, like, that's why, essentially, my gym team up to this point has been completely unbeatable, because on every single one of these Pokemon, you know, for the first couple weeks on the server, I desperately searched for the best nature, and then I meticulously EV trained them, keeping track of every single little EV, not letting a single one go astray, and so every one of these Pokemon is essentially... Well, they're not as perfect as they could be. Oh my god, all of them are Reaps, man. Just out. Get out of the shop.
My shearing team.
Get out. Bad Mareeps. But yeah, so essentially they are as perfect as I can make them, but they're not necessarily perfect, because on top of EVs, there's also a value called IVs, which are inherited values, which are not something that you can change. There's something that just every Pokemon inherently has, and so you can have between a value of 0 and 31 in every stat for IVs, 31 being the best, so you get a boost by IVs as well. That is something that you can eventually learn to tweak through breeding, but it's not something that well, when I started on this server and started building this team, breeding wasn't in the game, so I didn't worry about it at all. And frankly, I don't know enough about breeding to actually do it, and I don't know that I care enough to actually do it, because that's way more work above and beyond even what I've already put in, which was already a lot. So essentially they're as perfect as I can get them, but they could be even better probably. I don't have a way to look at what their IVs are. I think they're... Ooh, wow. Big Zapdos. I think there is a Pixelmon side mod which allows you to look at IVs, but last time I asked, we weren't open to adding that to this server.
Gotcha.
So I just didn't bother.
Sure.
But yeah. So through a combination of natures and EV training, you can get a pretty overpowered Pokemon. And then through the use of TMs and other things, you know, putting good moves on it, you know, because you've got all those TMs and things like that, and we looked at these stats, but like, you know, if I were, so I've got special attack lowered on Umbreon, so I use physical attacks on my Umbreon. If I put a special attack on this Umbreon, it wouldn't be very good. So right. you want to also look at your moves and like the type of moves, so like
with my Sparty, for example, one of his powerful moves, I've got fighting moves, you know, Focus Punch and Hammer Arm.
Yeah. So those are both physical type moves, and you know, your Golurk is probably a physical attacker. I'm pretty sure mine is as well. Let me look at him.
Yeah. So his special attack is lowered, but his speed is up. Yeah. Because he's jolly. But then his attack stat is almost 200, so... Yeah,
like my attack stat is 204, but yeah, my special attack stat is lowered by its nature, and it's like 85 or something. So, like, if I put a special attack on him, so, like, if I put... He's a ghost type, and so, like, I have Shadow Punch on him, I believe. Yeah, Shadow Punch, which is a physical ghost move. Whereas if I put Shadow Ball on him, which is a special ghost move, it would not be as powerful. Even though Shadow Ball is technically a more powerful base move, it has more power. The power that my Golurk would be putting behind it, because his special attack stat is so low, it would not be as good as a lower base power Shadow Punch with his much higher attack stat.
Gotcha.
So some of that you got to think about too, but other than that, it's pretty... I forgot that I did not finish putting the roof in here. I need to finish building my shop. But yeah. So that's a quick overview of most of that kind of competitive-y kind of stuff. Any other questions?
So the most effective time to start this stuff would be if I were to start with a new team or just start from scratch with like a new group of Pokemon somewhere, right?
Yeah, because I mean, all of your Pokemon are like level 70 at this point, so chances are that they've already filled in all of their EV slots. Even if you put all the power bracers or power items on them and then went and ground on the appropriate Pokemon, chances are they've already got their 510 EVs, so nothing will happen at that point. They just don't have any more room for EVs. It won't do anything.
Okay.
So yeah, chances are if you were going to start doing this, it would be something that you would want to do with a whole, just, get a whole new group of Pokemon. Maybe you want to start putting together an offensive team or something like that. And so you would just catch some new Pokemon or breed some new Pokemon and start from scratch with them.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. That might become useful.
Yeah, it certainly could be. I don't know, besides me, I know Zin was talking about it, and I think actually DJ MC is going to be doing some of that stuff too on here maybe. So there may be some other people on the server who are doing it that'll help you get, at least on level footing with them in those battles.
Cool.
But, and I don't know on the other server how many other people are doing it. I haven't really talked to enough people to know. But
other server? What? I know nothing.
I do not know of what you speak. But yeah. So that's about it. If you want, if you want to take your hand at EV training, or if you decide you do want to put together another team and you would like some help with that, I do offer EV training services. 1 gold block for every stat I train. So like, I'll get you 252 in attack or something for a block, and then I'll give you 252 in speed for a block, or whichever. If there's a so like if you at a certain point, like I think you can get 255 in a stat, but there's really no point to go over 252 in any stat because you don't get another stat point. So like I said, it's like a 1 to 10 ratio or whatever. So like at a certain point, you're wasting EVs. So usually you'll find sets. If you look at like Smogon, they make all the competitive sets really. If you look at the stat spreads, they recommend it's like 252 in speed, 252 in attack, and like 4 in HP or something. Just using those extra ones. So if you pay for 2, I'll throw in the spare 3rd one for free.
Cool.
But yeah. Yep. So that's pretty much everything I've got here. I can do a more advanced course at some point if you feel like you need it once you get into things, and really help you dig into it. And I'll send you some resources of like where you can find what Pokemon give what EVs and things like that. Maybe if you think you'll actually be doing it. But but yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your help, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for stopping by the shop and being my first student/customer. And I was punching the ground. I didn't mean to hit you.
Just make sure I was awake. That's all.
Although I'm actually armed on this server, so I can. I'm not running around with my enchanted shovel trying to kill people.
I got nothing.
Yeah. so
thanks so much, sir.
Yep. Thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by, and stop by anytime.
Next time.
Yep, see you guys next time. Have a good one. Make sure to check out Jay's channel. I'll put a link to it into the description.
You're the Pokemon master. Check Tortoise's channel.
Yeah, if you guys like Pokemon, I have an overabundance of that over here, so stop on by. Anyway, been Tortoise the Great. You guys have been great. Have a good one.
Whippersnapper.